An obsessed stalker leaked my scandal and ruined my relationship with a guy. I attempted to keep my cool and avoid drawing attention to myself after my initial shock and horror, but I was unable to ignore the curious looks, chatter, and buzzing that were directed at me. People appeared to be making accusatory gestures, whispering in one another's ears, and trading disgusted stares. There was a distinct sense of tension and anger. I couldn't help but feel that everyone was criticizing me and my behavior. I don't know how this all ended, but the only thing I remember was I was eager to begin the next phase after being accepted to a respected university. I arrived at school a few days before courses began and quickly located my dorm. For the first day, I wanted to be completely ready, but as I proceeded along the trail, I was unable to spot any markers or features that would have helped me locate the dormitory. I walked around aimlessly, feeling more and more disoriented by the minute. I couldn't believe I was having trouble navigating a campus that was meant to be one of the most prestigious and highly regarded colleges in the nation. To put it mildly, it was embarrassing and annoying, and I began to worry, what if I lost my way and I didn't make it to class on the first day? But I wasn't going to give up, whatever it took. I was going to find that thing. I walked on, watching for any signs or features that would steer me in the proper direction. I was looking around with my things when a lady approached me with a sweet smile. She was wearing a headband with the word "Inquire." "Hi, I'm Emily. It seems like you're having trouble finding something. Where are you going?" asked Emily, one of the scattered tour guides at school. Hi. I was looking for my dorm, but I can't seem to find it," I returned the smile. "Will you please help me?" "Sure thing, I'll help you." She went with me as she guided me to my dorm, and I was amazed by the things I saw in school. It was really vast, and there were a lot of people. It felt like this was a whole new town. I observed the term dormitory, blazoned on the building's front as we got closer. As soon as I understood this was the location I had been looking for, my heart skipped a beat. It was unclear about what to anticipate or what to do next. I had a billion questions flying through my mind, and the idea of beginning my university career was making me anxious. But seeing the dormitory calmed my anxiety. I was aware that this was the first step towards settling down in a new location, and that I would need to get my bearings after this. "Here, settle down now," she said, still having that smile on her face. "You can find your room with the numbers attached on each door. Do you think you need more help with that bag?" "No, thank you. I'm good," I said, though I wanted to ask for help. My shame took over. She had already helped me a lot, and I don't want to be a burden to her. When I arrived at the door of my dorm, I saw it ajar, so I pushed it only to see that there was someone already there. Their things were already done and placed neatly on their side. I started to unpack my things when I heard a bathroom door creaking, and a topless man came out with nothing but a towel wrapped around his waist. His sight astonished and humiliated me. What an odd way to start off a new home. He saw me watching and looked aside as soon as I turned around and confronted him. His humiliation was noticeable in the air. I formally apologized for the interruption and carried on unpacking my belongings. My face turned scarlet as I heard him close the bathroom door. I was unable to accept what had just occurred. "Hey, you're there," he bestowed me a smile while rubbing his head dry. "How you doing?" "Yep, seem to be your roommate," I said with a meek voice and started to go and settle my things. "Glad you're here now. I won't be alone," he once again said, but only hummed in response. "It's not like I'm stuck up not to say anything. I'm just being shy with people around me." Charles Stence, law sophomore student, he extended his hand on my face, and I somehow got a closer look at his face. He startled me by being quite attractive, with dark soulful eyes that also had a humorous twinkle in them. Then, despite the fact that I knew nothing about him, I understood that I was attracted to him. This realization surprised me a little bit because I never anticipated having feelings for a boy I had just met, but something about him made me feel at ease, as if I had known him for a very long time. I took a deep breath and tried to control my feelings as I continued to study his eyes to see what else I could discover about him. He was a puzzle, and I was out to solve it. I don't want to be seen as rude, so I took his hands and shook them. "Ronald Gevero, engineering freshman student." Just like that, I turned around and proceeded to tend to my things. It was a rather good start for me since I was able to establish a circle inside the class and a circle outside it, and my only friend inside the school was Charles. He was with me when I needed to buy things since I'm not yet used to this place. We even went out together as we bought our needs at the dorm every week, and while we were on our errands, we'd go out together and have lunch or dinner. In the span of a month, we became the bestest of friends. We sometimes helped each other with our school projects or essay assignments and solved the problems that we had that day, especially to the professors who made our day bad. We soon bonded as a pair and spent almost all of our time together. We shared a room while we studied, ate, and even slept. No subject was off limits as we freely exchanged all of our ideas and secrets. We helped each other through every hardship, and as time went on, our friendship got only better, in both good and bad times. We were there for one another, proving unwavering support and unflinching understanding. Eventually, I realized that all I needed to do to communicate my feelings to him was gaze into his eyes. When he would grin, I would experience an upsurge of joy. I can't deny that he's a really good guy, and somehow I feel jealous about him, since he has the looks and the brains, while I don't. All I had was determination, but I had no hard feelings for him. He's really a good friend, despite his many skills and talents. He never hesitated to give me encouragement and appreciation. He would go above and beyond to support me when I needed a friend, as well as assist me with my studies. He served as a consistent source of inspiration and uplift in my life. He seemed to encapsulate every quality in a person that I admired, so I couldn't help but feel admiration for him. I was thankful to have him in my life, despite the fact that I occasionally felt insecure in comparison to him. He was a trusted friend and companion, and I knew that I could always rely on him to stand by my side no matter what. Right now, we are in the shed with our stash of groceries in our hands for the next week. We were about to go back to our dorm when heavy rain poured. It was really hard, to the point that the foliage of trees was being blown away. A gray cloudy sky with ominous-looking clouds accumulating on the horizon dominated the scene. The wind was whistling ominously through the trees as if warning of the calamity that was about to overwhelm the sleepy coastal town. The scent of salt water permeated the air, and the sound of violent waves slamming against the shore could be heard everywhere. The wind was howling, dust and small stones were flying around like 1,000 little fists, trying to burst through the thick layer of material that covered the air. A howling banshee-like soundtrack of utter rage and brutality filled the air, leaving ears ringing along after the storm had gone. The normally strong and resolute trees bowed and trembled beneath the assault. A storm of devastation caused branches to snap and leaves to fly. Some even had their roots pulled out from under them, sending lethal missiles hurtling through the air. I got scared. Did you ever get any news about the weather? I asked as I clutched my jacket closer to my body. I was hoping that it would warm me up. Yeah, the weather forecast said that it would be a sunny afternoon and a humid night, Charles said as he double-checked the weather news earlier, but it seemed like this is far from what they said. I sighed as we waited for the rain to stop, and while we waited, we got to chit-chat a bit. Although the rain was pouring hard, I'm fine since Charles was with me to make me laugh. It seems like the rain is not going to stop anytime soon. He sat closer to me. Yeah, I think so too, I replied. I told you we should have brought the self-heating food. But I only received a heavy sigh. Ron, I have something to tell you. I know it may sound weird, and I know this is not the best time, but I don't think we'll ever get the perfect time. But... I looked at him, curious about what he was going to say, and when our eyes met, I saw him gaze down at the pavement. Ron, I think I'm falling in love with you, Charles confessed. I saw him bite his lower lip and be unable to look me in the eyes. I know this is too sudden, but... I was beyond shock, but I faked my shock with a soft chuckle. No, you're not. You've got a lot of ladies there, Charles. Did you ever get this prank? My eyes widened when I felt his warm lips on mine. That heat was too small compared to the size of my body, yet it burned from the inside out. All my life, I've never felt that kind of heat until now. As I gave in to the tenderness of his kiss, my heart began to pound loudly in my chest. My breath stuck to my throat. Time seemed to stop for a split second as we lost ourselves in a fantasy realm. His contact gave me goosebumps down to my spine. It was at once strange and thrilling. When we pulled away, there was a steam of breath that I didn't know had been holding all this time. I thought so too, but I was wrong, he chuckled as he caressed my now heated cheeks. And I'm not kidding. Maybe I wasn't really bisexual until I met you. Well, I can't say I'm in love with you yet, I let out a cackle. It's fine, we can work that out. We both share another kiss. The rain had ended at almost midnight, and it didn't even feel like hours had passed since I was too happy to be with Charles. And that night we shared his bed. It was intimate, and for the rest of my life, I will never forget that. But our relationship didn't end well, as people began to criticize us. They looked at us as if they were seeing garbage walking hand in hand. Although I was happy with Charles, I tend to ignore them, but not this one. Isn't that the gay couple in the scandal? I heard one of the girls say. I looked at them to see if they were talking to someone else, but I saw them looking at us, and then back to their phone. My breath hitched when I heard others whisper as they looked at us. Yeah, quite sure in my eyes, I must say. They should have been suspended. It's not good to see people like that in school. School's for education, not some filthy romance. I can feel their eyes on us. I want to listen to them and just pretend that I didn't hear them, but that's too painful to even hear. What's going on? I asked in panic as my heart started to pound in my chest. Don't listen to them, Charles reassured me. But this time his words didn't comfort me. We were walking back to our classroom when the girl with an armband approached us. She's one of the students' faculty. Hey, may I talk to you for a moment? I looked at Charles when I saw him with the same confusion as mine. Sure, I guess, I said. We followed the girl to the guy in its office room, and there we found a headmaster. Please sit, his voice was cold. There, they showed us a video of us being intimate. It felt like my heart sank as I learned that our video had leaked, and I was so devastated, ashamed of myself. And there we were, lecturing, and we almost got expelled. Luckily, they only amended that it should not happen anymore. When the incident became public, my entire world came to an end. I was at a loss for what to do next because the thing that I had always feared the most in life had come to haunt me. The humiliation, the embarrassment, and the betrayal were all too much to endure. On our way to our dorm, I couldn't even look at the people since they felt like they were judging me. I got to the dorm and I felt like my world was giving in. Ron, are you alright? Asked Charles, but my face remained buried in my pillow. I began to think that the video was not supposed to be seen by anyone, yet why did people know it? And Charles was the only one who had a copy of it, so why? My head began to ache as the realization hit me like a ton of bricks. You did that, didn't you? I said. Did what? Don't play coy with me, Charles. I know it's you who spread that video. You were the one who had that copy. I did not. Why would I do that? That's me in the video, so... I don't need your explanation. I'm breaking up with you, I said coldly. He was not going to fool me this time. I know it's not entirely his fault, but I should have denied the video to be recorded in the first place. Ronald, I swear, we're done, Charles. I made the decision to go back to the comfort of my house since I was feeling overwhelmed and wanted some time to collect my thoughts. I was hoping to find some much-needed serenity away from the school. I anticipated that there would be a sense of peace that would help me focus and recharge, away from the commotion and hustle of the school setting. I eventually had to find another option to achieve the peace and tranquility I was looking for after realizing that my home was not the calm and peaceful haven that I had hoped for upon arrival. I was hoping to be greeted with a warm hug, but we don't need you here. Get out. You're a piece of shame. I heard those words from my mother's own mouth. My heart was broken. Mom, what are you saying? I pleaded. Don't you think we don't know that you're sleeping with another man? My father yelled at me. I don't want to talk about that ever again, understand? If you want to still be called our son, then go pack your things and study abroad. I thought that if I didn't comply with my family's request, they would entirely desert me at those times when I felt helpless, alienated, and alone. So despite having no desire to do so, I made the difficult choice to study abroad in order to save my place in the family and prevent more conflict. Charles was the only person I could rely on to comprehend and accept my decision, but I went without warning or explanation and without even notifying him. My successful graduation felt like a dream come true. All of my sweet blood and tears were fruitful. I bid farewell to the life I had led previously and transitioned to the new one with a new outlook. I was able to get a job as an engineer thanks to my degree, and I've been doing fantastically well ever since. The potential for development and expansion in the engineering industry is enormous. I enjoy my job since it challenges me on a daily basis. Until I received a message. It was not a text message, but rather a video clip. It was a scandal before. My heart began to hitch up my throat. I went to a law firm and asked for the lawyer, and I saw someone I didn't expect to see again. Charles. Life was really playing on me. What is it? He asked as we sat at the table in the private dining room in a restaurant. Someone keeps harassing me, I mumbled. Can you tell me what they're doing? I showed him the phone and he saw the video. His eyes were wide and I'm sure it was the same expression I had. I snatched it up when I saw I was really watching the video of us because it made me uncomfortable. I'll do what I can. We have a cyber investigator and he can track down the culprit, he said. His voice was serious. Thank you, I murmured. And then I walked out, like that. I didn't even turn to face Charles when he called me, because I still felt ashamed. They tracked down the suspense and learned that it was Andrius, our batchmate. During our time, I was so angry I couldn't speak as they let us face him. Why did you do that? I yelled at the top of my lungs. Andrius gave me a wicked smile and said, Because I love you. I want you to be mine only, and I will do everything to make you mine again, he laughed maniacally. No, you obsessed freak. You ruined my life and my relationship. You deserve to rot in jail. My heart was going to explode if I saw him longer, so I turned away. Andrius was sent to jail, and I was having the last session with my lawyer. He told me that Andrius was diagnosed having a mental disorder, so they gave him a pardon. Instead of imprisonment of 5 years, it ended up as 3 years. I was upset, but I soon gave in. That was the judge's final decision, after all. Ron, my heart ached as I heard the nickname he gave me. All this time, there have been lingering feelings for him. What? I asked coldly. Now that you know that Andrius was the culprit even before, will you still forgive me? I was shocked and guilty. There was nothing to forgive. I was the one wrong here. Yet he's the one apologizing. I'm sorry, I really am. I didn't mean to end our relationship that way. It was just... You don't need to explain, he slowly held my hand. His motion really made my heart beat fast. It feels like I'm the student me again. Someone that had the bare grasp of what love is. Thank you, I muttered. Can we still be together? He asked with hopeful eyes. My heart yearned for him, yet I don't think I deserved him. I'll see what I can, I said, and once again left. I spent time thinking about it. I couldn't sleep for a few days, as I had to balance everything. Should I give us a chance now that I know we still have feelings for others? Or not, because I know he deserves someone better. Better than me. But I don't want him to be with anyone. So I called him in the middle of the night. Hello, Charles. Yes, he groaned from the other line. I can tell that he just woke up, since he has a deeper voice than usual. I've known him since I heard that voice a lot of times when we were still studying. I'm sorry if I wake you up. No, it's fine. What is this? Well, I was wondering if I could invite you to lunch tomorrow. I mean, if you're not busy. Or maybe whenever you are free. I'm not busy. We can have lunch together tomorrow, he said. And by the looks of it, it felt like his voice turned bright. Okay, see you there. I couldn't really sleep that whole night. His voice really did keep me awake. But I don't mind. I like it. Now, I'm waiting for him to arrive. I'm sitting at the cafe with my hands tapping on the floor, waiting patiently for him, and then it started to rain. I saw Charles running towards the cafe I was in, and my memories flooded my head. The time he confessed and the time he kissed me. It all felt like yesterday. Sorry, did I make you wait? He asked, heaving as he patted dry his face. I didn't know it was going to rain. No, it's fine, I just got here, I said. So we ordered food and caught up with our stories after we got separated. It was all fun, and after I finished my food, I said I accept. Accept what? Charles asked. Food was still in his mouth, making him look adorable in my eyes. I couldn't help but laugh at his cuteness. I accept your offer, Mr. Charles, I said, imitating the judge of a court. That we should be together. I saw him stop chewing, and his eyes began to tear up. Thank you, he was on the verge of tears. After that, we went to the nearest mall and spent our time together. As we walked hand in hand through the bustling mall, I couldn't help but feel a sense of contentment wash over me. I'd only been dating Charles for technically a few hours, but already I felt a deep connection to this man, who seemed to understand him in a way that no one else had. Although the mall was crowded with shoppers, I felt as though I was in a bubble, cut off from the activity around me and buried in my own thoughts. Charles was a comforting presence next to me, his smile illuminating his dashing face and quickening my heart. When we arrived at the candy shop, my eyes glowed as he observed the array of candies in front of me. Charles playfully teased me and laughed at his exuberance, but I could see the love in his eyes, and I knew he was just as happy to be there as I was. I started to open up to Charles again as we moved around in the mall, in a manner he never had with anyone else. We discussed our aspirations, worries, and fears, and I got the impression that he was getting to know a different side of me. But beneath all the conversation and laughter, there was a tension I couldn't ignore. He was scared because he understood that dating another man meant going out into a world that wasn't always welcoming to their relationship. After months of being together again, he asked me the question that really made my heart leap out of my chest. Ron, will you marry me? Charles asked out of nowhere. My heart pounded in my chest. This was really it. So I said yes. People around us began to clap for us, and I didn't expect that to happen. I know I'm on cloud 9 right now, and I'm going to get married to the man I fell in love with a long time ago. But there was still a problem. My parents. I talked to my parents about my impending wedding. They didn't really want it at first, but soon gave in as they saw how happy we were. They gave me their blessing, and now we're face to face in front of the minister, holding hands with the man I love. Say your vows now, the minister said with a smile. I took the opportunity to make vows. I, Ronald Gevero, take you as my husband. To my dear. On the day of our wedding, as I stand here in front of you, I can hardly contain the joy and thankfulness I feel. I immediately saw you as a unique individual who had the potential to profoundly alter my life. You have infused my life with so much light, and have shown me a love I didn't know was possible. Even in the most difficult of circumstances, you helped me feel secure, loved, and supported. I will always be grateful for that. I make a promise to always love and adore you for who you are, flaws and all. As we set on our journey together, I promise to pay attention to you, to be there for you, and support you through all life's highs and lows. I promise to be your confidant, greatest friend, and partner. I pledge to accept your uniqueness and always support you in following your interests and aspirations. I commit to working with you to create a wonderful life together that is bursting with joy, excitement, and unending love. I couldn't contain my happiness as I saw Charles crying in front of me, so I hugged him. He hugged me in return. My dearest love, I promise to you, my heart will always beat true, today and always, so pure and so true. My love for you, also knew. From that moment we met, my heart knew that my life would be forever changed by you. And now as we take this vow so pure, I pledge to love and cherish you, now and forever. In your eyes I see a love so bright, a love that fills my life with endless light. I vow to always be your faithful friend, to love you with my heart from now on till the bitter end. Together we will face the joys and sorrows through all of our tomorrows. With each passing day, my love will grow. Until eternity, my love for you will flow. So I stand here before you now. My love, my pledge to you is so profound. Your love has shown me how to be true. Until the end of time, I will stay forever with you. The air is charged with emotion and love as you and your spouse exchange your final vows, pledging to love and respect and support one another for the rest of your life. As the moment you both have been waiting for finally arrives, everyone holds their breath in anticipation as you two gently come together in a sweet kiss, sealing your love and devotion for one another. Even though the situation is private and intimate, you can sense the love and joy that everyone else is exuding. The kiss begins your life together as husband and wife, partners and best friends, forever and always, and the witness cheer and applaud. And so with a kiss, a love story was written, two souls forever intertwined, a bond stronger than any force on earth. The end. Do you think Ronald was right when he chose to break up with Charles when his scandal was leaked? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Thank you for watching. Consider subscribing to become part of our Rainbow Force and stay wholesome.